Our planet faces an unprecedented crisis. Wildlife populations are plummeting at alarming rates. The delicate balance of ecosystems is under threat. We are losing species at a rate unseen since the extinction of the dinosaurs. This loss is not just a tragedy for the natural world, it is a threat to our own survival. Biodiversity is essential for healthy ecosystems. These ecosystems provide us with clean air and water, fertile soil and climate regulation. When we lose species, we disrupt these vital services. The consequences can be catastrophic, leading to food shortages, disease outbreaks, and economic instability. The causes of this crisis are complex and multifaceted. Habitat destruction, climate change, pollution, and poaching all play a significant role. Human activities are driving these threats, and we have a moral obligation to address them. The time to act is now. The future of our planet depends on it. The idea of hunting as a tool for conservation may seem counterintuitive at first. How can killing animals possibly help to save them? However, in certain contexts, regulated hunting can play a vital role in wildlife management and conservation efforts. Sustainable hunting programs operate on a simple principle. By carefully managing populations and issuing hunting permits, wildlife agencies can ensure that hunting remains at sustainable levels. These programs generate revenue that can be directly funneled back into conservation efforts. Funds are used for habitat restoration, anti-poaching patrols, and scientific research. Moreover, hunting can provide an economic incentive for local communities to conserve wildlife. When local people benefit financially from wildlife, they are more likely to support conservation efforts. This is particularly important in developing countries where poverty and lack of economic opportunities can drive poaching and habitat destruction. The effectiveness of hunting as a conservation tool is supported by hard data. In Namibia, for example, the sustainable hunting of black rhinos has led to a remarkable population increase. Once on the brink of extinction, the black rhino population has rebounded significantly, thanks to well-managed hunting programs and community-based conservation efforts. Similarly, in the United States, the Pittman-Robertson Act of 1937 has been instrumental in funding wildlife conservation. This act places an excise tax on firearms and ammunition, with the proceeds going directly to state wildlife agencies. Over the past 8 decades, billions of dollars have been raised, enabling the recovery of numerous game species, including white-tailed deer, wild turkeys, and elk. These examples demonstrate that, when implemented responsibly and ethically, hunting can be a powerful force for positive change in wildlife conservation. The positive impact of conservation hunting can be seen in the stories of individual species. Take, for instance, the markhor, a majestic wild goat found in the mountains of Central Asia. Once hunted to near extinction for its impressive horns, the markhor is now making a remarkable comeback thanks to a combination of hunting regulations, community involvement, and habitat protection. Another success story is the Bengal tiger. In India, where the majority of the world's tigers reside, tiger populations have stabilized and even increased in certain areas due to rigorous anti-poaching efforts and habitat management. While poaching remains a significant threat, the conservation efforts, supported in part by regulated hunting in some regions, offer a glimmer of hope for the future of this iconic species. Section 5. Beyond the bullet: habitat loss and other pressing threats. While hunting can be a valuable tool for wildlife conservation, it is not a silver bullet solution. Habitat loss, driven by deforestation, agriculture expansion, and urbanization, remains the single greatest threat to wildlife populations worldwide. Climate change is also emerging as a major threat, altering ecosystems and disrupting migration patterns. Pollution from pesticides to plastic waste further exacerbates the challenges facing wildlife. Addressing these complex issues requires a multifaceted approach that goes beyond hunting regulations. Section 6. The ivory tower and the forest floor, bridging the gap between science and local communities. Effective conservation strategies must be grounded in sound science. Researchers play a crucial role in studying wildlife populations, understanding ecological relationships, and identifying threats. However, scientific knowledge alone is not enough. To be truly effective, conservation efforts must engage local communities. Local people possess invaluable knowledge about their environment and can play a vital role in monitoring wildlife, reporting illegal activities, and implementing conservation practices on the ground. Bridging the gap between scientific expertise and local knowledge is essential for long-term conservation success. Section 7. Funding the future economic incentives for conservation. Conservation is not cheap. Protecting wildlife, managing habitats, and combating poaching all require significant financial resources. Governments, NGOs, and private donors all play a role in funding conservation efforts. However, there is a growing recognition that conservation should not be solely reliant on philanthropy. Creating economic incentives for conservation can empower local communities, provide sustainable funding streams, and foster a sense of ownership over natural resources. Ecotourism, for example, can generate revenue from wildlife viewing, creating jobs and providing an alternative to extractive industries. Sustainable harvesting of forest products such as nuts, fruits, and medicines can also provide economic benefits while conserving biodiversity. Section 8. A call to action. Our shared responsibility to protect wildlife. The future of wildlife lies in our hands. We all have a role to play in protecting our planet's biodiversity. We can support conservation organizations, reduce our ecological footprint, and advocate for policies that protect wildlife and their habitats. Education is key. By teaching future generations about the importance of wildlife conservation, we can foster a sense of wonder and respect for the natural world. We must inspire a new generation of conservationists who are passionate about protecting our planet's biodiversity for generations to come. Section 9. A legacy of harmony, envisioning a future where wildlife thrives. Imagine a world where humans and wildlife coexist in harmony, where pristine forests teem with life, where elephants roam free from the threat of poaching, where coral reefs shimmer with vibrant colors, a testament to the health of our oceans. This is the future we must strive for. A future where conservation is not just about protecting what we have left, but about restoring what we have lost. A future where wildlife thrives, not just survives. It is a future within our reach, but only if we act now. Let us leave a legacy of harmony with nature for generations to come.